recording. Hello, my name's Rob. Welcome to honest-wargamer. I'm your host, and join by the Twitch chat. We're going to be looking at the reveals from the weekend. I actually have no idea what these reveals are. Oh no, I do know what the reveals are, but I haven't looked at the detail. So now I'm going to be going through the detail with the chat, and I'm really looking forward to it because I know there's loads of Age of Sigmar stuff. I know there's new Gitz, there's a timeline, there's some really exciting things. So we're trying to talk about what that means for Age of Sigmar or 40k or whatever the hell else. But we're going to get into it and just have we're just going to have a fun time. Now, the first thing we know is Warhammer Preview Online, enter the beast with a new Beast Lord. So the first thing we're going to do is look at this video. Now, I've already clicked play for the first 10 seconds, and I want you to know I already hate it. Oh, wait, none of you can see. Oh, there we go. This. Here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Start again. Come on. There we go. Okay, I've watched no more of this now, and let me tell you things that I hate about Games Workshop from the start, the top to the bottom. I hate that they don't like the thing that I like. The weirdest thing, they make the thing I like, they sell the thing I like, and yet they don't like the thing I like. I love Age of Sigmar. I love Warhammer. I love Beasts of Chaos. I love the story. I love this. What I don't want is a funny video. I want a cool narrative video about who he is, the setting of Age of Sigmar. I want some more fucking background to the game. It's not difficult. This is embarrassing. I already hate this. The person in charge of this is a fucking idiot. Oh my God, I hate it so much. I hate it so... Why don't they like their thing? Just love the thing that you like. Whoa. Goats are great, though. I fucking love goats. Goats are just really good. All right, yeah, so... whatever. Okay, so let's talk about some bits. I didn't walk away. That whole thing. N.A. Brooks, thank you so much for resubscribing. Let's talk about this. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, this is, I'm pretty certain, Valton Games Workshop. This is a rip off the Valton pose, which is a great miniature. One of my favorite miniatures, actually. This pose here. Oh no! Oh God! Oh God, we're on eBay. That's not what we wanted. Where's the pose? There's a pose somewhere. You can see on the right there. So there's the classic Valton pose on that left side. Great mini. So the person in charge of this is obviously got a goat simulator. What a shit video. It's super shit video. We all agree, and hello fish, love you. So there's Valton, and it's a direct rip off Valton, right? That's the kind of thing that we're looking at. So the actual model. And if we see, he's got what appears to be a Valton head attached. So blonde and then murdered. Whereas the Valton mini has stood on a Beast Lord, right? So here's the Beast of Chaos model update, one new model. He also has a human's head on his belt that looks like Valton, yeah. So it's kind of like fun throwback to Warhammer Fantasy Battle fans because the actual miniature itself looks like the one that Valton stood on. So, that's some really nice art being produced by the artist there. I absolutely love that. And I think Beast Lords and I think Beasts of Chaos done by Games Workshop are always just brilliant. They've just got a real good way of doing them, and they look really fantastic. Someone suggested that we look at how Beasts of Chaos were done in Total War. Total War, Beasts of Chaos. Let's do that. Let's have a little look at how they presented Beasts of Chaos. Total War announcement trailer. Let's go.
Peggy 16.
Okay, I'm excited for this.
Sega.
Okay, right. The music versus like. Some of you who may not have tuned into the show before might be like, "Hey Rob, why are you reviewing how they advertise it?" Number one, I worked in the advertising department for Games Workshop, so it's still of interest to me. But also, most importantly, I feel like it's a direct representation of how they represent the hobby to other people. Like, it's embarrassing if I was like, "Hey babe, I really like the new Beast Lord model," and then she's like, "I'll just go look that up," and then the trailer she saw was that piece of shit, yeah, as opposed to this. FYI. Astartes, which was a fan-made piece of video animation art, came out, and people all around the world were like, "Yo, what is this?" There were react videos from like reactors who like do like hip hop videos or art or other stuff that had never engaged in Warhammer. Were like, "This is fucking cool." You need absolutely to make no effort to represent Warhammer or wargaming as fucking lame. Okay? Absolutely no effort, right? But you can present it like this, and it's way better. They're fucking beastmen. Like, they're meant to be terrifying. They're meant to live in the forest, and if they get you, they eat your fucking heart. Like, they're not. It's a goat. I loathe Games Workshop so much. Like, love that. What are you going to shoot in the ass? Run away! Oh man, I love this. See, I'm at this point and I already want to make a Beastman army. Like, this has done more for making me want to make a Beastman army than anything Games Workshop has ever done. Like, and that's they are a company that continues to fail upwards. Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely love that to pieces. I mean, it's almost as good as... Anyway, what's actually in the box? We've talked about that enough. But who's angry goaty boy in the video? I fucking hate you! That's the brand new Beast Lord! And he's ready to hack his way through. Well, yes, Pershaw, love you. What up? Tywin, thanks for resubscribing. Torix in Warhammer 2 sold out Minotaurs to me. It's a shame the Borgors don't look that great. I agree. Daily, if you would like some cool Borgors or Minotaur models, can I personally suggest the sculpts from Bestarium Miniatures? They've done a Beastman range, and I think the Borgors in that are fucking unreal. Go and watch them. The Kragnos reference really annoys me. Me too, buddy. Me too. If there was, Rob would have to have a lie down. Might have been fired for asking for a raise. I believe the good videos were purely accidental at this point. Even though we should not talk about the Wheel of Time series, at least the Trolloc attack was better than the advert for the Beastmen. But I'm not sure I can play this without getting copyright struck, Ziggy. So yeah, like I agree. Wait, hold on. Come on. Yeah, this is great. That was great. The Trolloc attack in Wheel of Time was great. This makes me listen. We'll do an entire Wheel of Time show where we discuss it. But anyway, right. So we got the Goat Boy, and he looks great. One model. Okay, all right, okay. So where are we at? For some reason, if you're new and this is the first time you've listened and you've got this far, as an FYI, Beast of Chaos is one of the oldest ranges Games Workshop makes. It's got one of the oldest battle tomes in the game. And it was one of the very last armies to get a battle tome in Age of Sigmar when it transitioned from being Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So we're talking, I think it took maybe 3 years for it to get a battle tome finally. And then when it did, it's still now the longest to get one. So what does this mean? It's got loads and loads of really old sculpts. I think a lot of them really still stand up. Bestigor look really, really great. I think some of the big monsters look really fine. Borgor do not look good. They do not look good at all. Borgor look like they've been at Muscle Beach. They look like an 80s parody of Muscle Men. Thank you, Pershaw, for resubscribing. I can't. Yes, Guy. Hello. What up? So yeah, they've got a bunch of old miniatures. They haven't had any new miniatures for a very long time. Kragnos obviously doesn't count apparently, even though he's mentioned that video. Lol. So yeah, we haven't had any of that. And instead, we have this range of old miniatures. And so it looks like we may only be getting this one miniature. Now, this is pretty on trend, actually, for Age of Sigmar 3. We've had a lot of what we call FOMO boxes, so Fear of Missing Out boxes, where it's normally an army versus another army with a single new character put inside of it. And so it looks like this is what Beasts of Chaos are getting. Does that single new character mean that there's a new range of miniatures down the line? It means the exact opposite, in fact, and there's likely not to be a new range of miniatures down the line for several years. For instance, Skaven just got a single new character and have a bunch of very old sculpts as well. They got a new battle tome, and I expect we won't see another new battle tome for them for 3 years. And so that one single character is what they get. Games Workshop actually do a really poor job of supporting many of the miniatures ranges that they release. But they do sell you books. They love selling you books. They sell you as many books as they can. And so here you see you get a new Beast of Chaos book. Now, some of the Age of Sigmar 3 battle tomes have unfortunately been very copy and paste. They have seen improvements. Skaven 1 and Ogre 1, I guess, are kind of examples where they improved key elements of some of the units in the book, but didn't really do any overarching changes, like we saw with the Sylvaneth book. Sylvaneth book, when it was released in Age of Sigmar 2, was really bad, and it was a very stark difference to what they'd produced in Age of Sigmar 1. However, the Age of Sigmar 3 book at least have given them a bunch of different tools and have probably made many of the units more viable. So it's just generally a better book. It's pretty much true of the Ogre book as well. Some of those units could still do with some points adjustments for the internal balance, but they haven't really updated almost any element of it. I imagine it took them half of an afternoon to kind of recreate those changes. So, Beasts of Chaos are probably going to see some light changes, or we're going to see. We don't know right now. Like, we don't know. They're going to see a whole new book. I don't really. I'm not really sure, but they're probably going to be released around the same time as the Gloomspite Gitz book. And we know the Gloomspite Gitz, when we look at it in a minute, are going to get new minis. And they're an army that's been languishing for a very long time competitively. So if I was to earmark one for getting the big rewrite, it would be the Gloomspite Gitz book. That doesn't mean the Beast of Chaos one isn't going to be different. So we'll see. The new battle turn brings new rules and abilities for loads of current units. Oh, I haven't actually read this yet. With a strong emphasis on ambushing your enemies, there are all sorts of tricks you can play to surround your opponents and make them regret the day they decide to enter the Wildlands. What are they, the Beast of Chaos? Great question. They're a bunch of goat men. They're effectively, at some point, some Chaos Warriors, Chaos Marauders, and other folk got a little bit freaky with the local vegetation. That's not true. The local wildlife, I mean, sorry. They definitely didn't do that. But they're beasts who lived in the forest who got corrupted by the very fell nature of chaos itself and became monsters of chaos, I guess is what you could describe. But yeah, they're basically beasts who live in the forest, and then because of that, they ambush. They did at one point have their own god, because there are 5 chaos gods. There's Nurgle, Tzeentch, Khorne, and Slaanesh, but the 5th god, since Skaven are in chaos, so the horned rat, lol. There's also Hashut as well. That's a god. But yeah, this is a potentially they've got their own god as well. But we'll see. We'll see if that gets added to the kind of chaos god pantheon. Sometimes babies are born with bestial features and are left in the woods to die. That's true. That's cool. Yeah. Murgon may be a chaos god. Yeah, maybe. And then, okay, so let's look at the new rules. The Beast Lord has also been buffed. Okay, so Beast Lord was trash, garbage, rubbish, nonsense, terrible, not worth it. I don't know if I've got any other ways to describe it. The Beast Lord has also been buffed. Not only is he stronger and tougher than before, his hatred of heroes has only grown. Oh no. Okay. So his new one is, so it used to be if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by this model's paired Man Ripper axes targets a hero is a 6, that attack scores 2 hits on the target instead of 1. This new one, if this unit is within 3 inches of any enemy heroes, add 1 to hit rolls and wound rolls for attacks made by this melee weapons by friendly Beasts of Chaos units while they're wholly within 12 inches of this. And this is quite good because previously the Beast Lord chap was like a 5-6 wound character with 4 up armor save. So he getting exploding 6s, as we call it, on 6s to hit wasn't really that impressive versus a hero. Making it so that like his big, because he wasn't that scary in combat anyway, making it so that you've got some other units, big hammer units, let's say Bulgor, or I don't know, probably Enlightened. Probably Enlightened. Get +1 to hit and +1 to wound is actually a real positive against heroes. But it's not monsters, so it's just heroes. So that only is situationally useful. But anyway, and then that's it, sadly. I think he is solid. He gives a bit of nuance to simply run everyone in combat. There might be some interesting positioning tricks with him now. There could be, sure. That we don't know what the rest of the book looks like, so there you go. We'll find out when the book comes out. I'm really excited about the Beast of Chaos book. It got some new art, which is actually pretty exciting. Games Workshop are a incredibly profitable company who are deeply miserly. So commissioning new art for the front cover is actually a huge positive. It means that we might see even more effort put into the Beast of Chaos in the future. And it would be really cool to see some new miniatures come out of Games Workshop eventually. So yeah, the new art, the front cover is hot, in my opinion. Big fan of the GWR. I think that looks excellent. Let's go. You think it's not very good, Shelf Loathing? I think that's a great bit of art. Like, that's like everything you would want from Beast of Chaos. The 2 axes, the big scream into the sky. I think that's good. lol, me hoping the company that made a preview a joke doesn't make my whole army a joke, lol. Yeah, they paid an artist exposure, I bet. That's probably true. They do have an art department, and that art department has worked there for a long time, so I would hope that they get paid well enough. Well, if you're a big fan of Gitz art, you'll love the Gitz cover. Oh my god, I'm so exciting. Okay, because I do love... Okay, so the Gloomspite Gitz, again, one of the oldest. Okay, right, let's see how they... Okay, all right. Okay, Gloomspite Gitz next. Okay. Okay, chat. Okay. What's the video going to be like? I mean, right, number one, it's not jokey. So already leagues better than the previous one. Leagues. Yeah. Right. Follow on. Yeah. These are new models. So there used to be there used to be a couple of clans, a couple of grot clans. So you had the Bad Moon Loons. No, that's actually a team. But you had the Moon Clan Grots. And then you had what were they called? I've just forgotten for a moment. The ones with the trappers and all those guys. There was previously Gitmob. Gitmob nailed it before the chat got to it. There used to be the Gitmob, right? So they were like They were more like martial, I guess, and just a bit more like what you would consider necessarily a traditional army. Yeah, they were forest goblins and then night goblins. But these ones are called Gitmob. So we've got some new miniatures from that, which is actually genuinely very exciting. The wolves look really cool. The Gitmob models themselves look absolutely excellent. I think they look really great. Huge fan of that. I would say that the video, while better than the comedy one, is still like a bit of our absolutely no voiceover audio. Like just a bit, like half a script. Would have been whoever's doing the shots for the minis. Great job there, really nice. So we got some, I think the Hobgobbler can, yes, great models, shit video, better video. Come on, let's give them credit because we think this is a shit video, and it isn't a great video, but we know that they can make worse videos. This is like what I would consider to be like a substandard launch video. Okay, but we know that they can intentionally make bad videos. It's very different. Be really conscious of that. Like, the effort that they put into making the bad video was real. So, this is okay. Imagine if they showed some puppies. Yeah. Goblins are supposed to be funny, though. Like, so the Moon Clan bits are, like, they're also meant to be rowdy and a bit sneaky. I don't hate that Gitmob would be here and a bit more, like, I guess, serious. Kind of feels like a preview of Old World Grots. Not to say I won't be buying these because I love some Grots. Certain Mullet is now going to be as lazy as over if they don't put their thing, not spending their thing. Yeah, not all goblins need to be funny. It's true. We've already seen Gobbos on Doggos. Oh my god, I hate you. I hate you, article writer. I understand you're just doing a job, but I hate your manager who makes you write like this because I'm sure you don't want to write like this. I'm sure you're not 10. We've already seen Gobbos on Doggos in the form of Ripper Snarlfangs, a warband from Warhammer Underworlds, but soon you'll be able to take a full unit or units of Snarlfang riders in your Games of Age Sigmar. Yes, perhaps this means there's going to be more. There's no way that this is independently coming out. That means we're going to see heroes. There's absolutely going to be more grots coming out. Perhaps descended from the classic wolf riders of the world that was, these greenskin raiders belong to the plains-dwelling Gitmobs rather than the subterranean moon clans or boreal spiderfang, and bring a fast, flexible element to Gloomspite Gitz armies. Yeah, there's definitely going to be more than just this. It's not cope. I promise you. This is a whole release. Guarantee this is a whole release, in my opinion. Can't wait for these bow attacks. One attack, 5s to 5s, no red damage. Doom Diver coming back? I would expect the Doom Diver to come back. I'd expect Doom Diver, Bolt Thrower, the whole business. Like, it's not cope. What? Like, are you telling me that they're just going to independently release some wolf cavalry and then just walk away? There is no shot that that's happening. Like, what? Just a single thing? No, just one. Does it say that anywhere? Does it say it anywhere? Armed with grot bows, maybe a hero too. There'll be an end of winter AOS release. Are you telling us they're not going to do that? I'm telling you they're not going to do that. I'm telling you right now that if this is the okay, I'll throw this and a hero in. That's your bet. That's the chat bet versus me. Yeah. If I'm wrong and they don't do anything else, yeah, then I'll do a hot tub stream. That's what I'm going to say. That's out. Just I'm putting it out there, right? They're going to do this unit and a hero is your bet. Clip it if you've got nothing to do, right? There's going to be Doom Divers. Maybe not Doom Divers. Maybe Doom Divers. I fucking know. There's got to be more, right? If we're all have to eat the beast lords. I'll just do a hot tub stream. It's like charity work. Like, it's not difficult to do. Armed with grot bows, stabbing stickers. I mean, like fun runs. Obviously, actual, real, like working in soup kitchens is super tough. But I mean, like doing a fun run or playing Warhammer for charity. It's not difficult. Remember, you need to cover your nips in the hot tub for TOS. I will. No deal. Nathan has to be in the hot tub too. Yes. How long do games have to sit on the release for you to do that hot tub stream? How many years? Just like when this book releases, this is the only thing that's out. Going to be inexpensive. Fill in that padding pool. Today's prices. Can I get? If only. That would be great. Armed with grot bows, stabbing stickers, and slavering toxic jaws of their snarfang partners in crime, these grot bows are a great flanking enemy position of finishing off wounded targets, thanks to their cruel ability, smell weakness. Add on to hit rolls for attacks. Maybe this unit slavering jaws, and that target a unit that has one or more wounds allocated to it. Thanks. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Add on to hit rolls for attacks made by this unit's slavering jaws. That target unit has one or more wounds allocated to it. Okay. Then can't you just give units +1 to hit? Yes. Okay. All right. So new front cover. It's the same fucking front cover. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
We're sorry. We didn't get it right this time.
Fucking Eddie, right? So we hit it for a 4, then lol. They really like the art. If the wolves could smell weakness, then they wouldn't just smell the gobbo on top. What? Wait, so are you telling me the +1 to hit from smell weakness is just like, it's just going to be hitting from 5s to 4s? Yeah. It's a great cover, though. Listen, okay, number one, it's a great cover. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this cover. The trick is if they don't change the art, you might buy the old one by mistake and buy more. Lol. That's very true. That's very true. If you want new art, you need to get the FOMO army box. Is that true? Okay, we got the roadmap. This is great. Okay. I hate that it's the same cover. This is a book that's 3 years old. Number one, that's absolutely correct. Like, this is one of, like, there's so much art in this book. White surround changed to red from current new books. Yeah, I mean, they haven't said anything, but 100% will be true. Yeah, hate. Okay, this, I hate this. This is the worst. All right, now let's look at the roadmap, shall we? Okay, the roadmap's looking pretty good. So Slaves to Darkness on there, super weird, because we know it's out, but whatever. Then we got Beasts of Chaos, and we got the Gloomspite Gitz. So we know those two are coming out around the January time. This is great because we've had a lot of prophecies about the Gloomspite Gitz from the Oracles. The Oracles, by the way, are just playtesters who are painting stuff before the books come out. So those are the Oracles, and the prophecies are we see them painting them. That's the Oracle. That's the prophecy. Dad Bod Napgod says Cities and Dawnbringer, he reckons it in summer. Okay, let's see what we've got in spring, which is pretty, by the way, a pretty full schedule leading into summer. We have an Order Battle Tome, 2 Chaos Battle Tomes, then we have 2 Death Battle Tomes. Okay, so this is pretty interesting with another Order Battle Tome in summer. So our 2 Chaos Battle Tomes, we've got Khorne, which as of yet has not been released, and Slaanesh, which as of yet has not been released. Yeah. They're still showing concept art. That's true. Not being able to make a safe start on this list on the app is literally killing me. Because they haven't updated the app because it's not officially out yet. Amazing. Guessing Seraphon, Khorne, Slaanesh, OBR, FEC, says Lex. And I think I agree with that as well. I think what we're going to get from the Order Battle Tome is going to be our new Cities of Sigmar / Dawnbringer Crusade. Red Hot Lumineth Summer. The joke the chat are making, by the way, is that Lumineth get a new book every 6 months. They actually get more and more Lumineth books closer together until we get 2 Lumineth books at the same time. Cities in Summer making either Seraphon or KO in the spring. Yeah, so and we don't think KO is one of them. I think KO is definitely one of them. They've got one of the older books. You don't think Cities yet? Interesting. I get that if you have a new army to be released, you don't want to announce too early, but why don't you tell what pre-existing armies are going to get a tome? Okay, so good news coming out of Games Workshop, which is like rain on the plains, is that you ultimately we're getting a roadmap. Fantastic news. Huge, fantastic news that we're getting a roadmap. This is brand new. I know in the year of our Lord, like some sort of like Nordic lord, let's pick that, or maybe some Brazilian lord, not the lord. We get in 2022 and 2023, we're getting actual roadmaps. This is brand new. It's pretty crazy, but we're getting them anyway, right? Which is great. And we haven't had this previously, so this is huge. When are we actually going to see what those armies actually are? Maybe 2073, right? I love a Brazilian lord, me too. Maybe it won't be LRL, but instead of a dragon, elf dragon riders in the book. I agree. So yeah, Necromunda gave us roadmaps. God bless. Exactly. If all of those are the same old books reprinted like all the last books, it strengthened the conspiracy theory that the Sin guy, the Bin guy, replaced with a battle tome writing AI. That would actually make sense for Games Workshop. Guy, who works in the game industry, has actually made a lot of sense. A lot of companies are replacing their workforce through automation and also AI. And I would not be surprised if that's where Games Workshop went. As you know, you can see ABBA in hologram now. That's a brand new thing you can do. And so I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we just get AI-created battle tomes, and because you aren't allowed to meet creators at their open days anymore for Games Workshop, then probably you'll get some hologram-style replication of some like fake AI battle tome writer. That makes sense. What are the chances there's a new faction in there? We do know that there's a new faction coming out, the Dawnbringer Crusade. So I assume that they're either in the summer or spring. I think it'll be the summer. Guerrillas have been holograms for years. Exactly. That's my point. So roadmap, great. Loads of new books, great. The other thing is, and I don't want to get anyone kind of like a little bit concerned, but we're reaching the end of Age of Sigmar 3. I know what you're saying, Rob. How dare you say that? It be only a year and a bit since it came out, or a year and a half. Well, it's on a 3-year cycle, Age of Sigmar. So we're getting all of these books released. And so by summer, you may have almost all of the Age of Sigmar battle tomes out, which will give us a year of all of the books being out. And don't forget, we're going to have the kind of Broken Realms books. So we get these campaign/rule books that we'll get towards the end of the year, so probably from Christmas onwards. So between summer and Christmas is this kind of weird black hole of like information right now. But all the battle tomes coming out is great. Just in time for us to start the cycle again and buy some new battle tomes. Chaos Dwarfs for Christmas would be absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So I think that's all of the Age of Sigmar news. Oh, no, wait, the final bit. The Warhammer World, the Gnarlwood. Okay, so I'd love everyone to know what they think of the roadmap. Chat, what do you think of the roadmap? Would be nice to sit on these books for a year or two of the edition they were written for. I agree with you, Honke. I think the 3-year cycle is too fast. Don't tell anyone, Rob, but I have heard from colleagues. Don't tell anyone. I promise not to. I've already heard about colleagues about concept artist AI already operational, a few games in development. Fuck, that's fascinating, guy. That's genuinely fascinating. Cursed Wolf release confirmed for April 1st. Yeah, great. We already know most of the tomes, and they will announce like a month earlier still. That's true. I like the roadmap. Harlequins, me too. The cycle will probably end up being 4 years with Horus Heresy and Fantasy slotted in. I don't think that Fantasy is going to end up slotted in Rima Night Spear. I previously thought it was going to be, but I think it no longer will be, and I think they're going to stick to a 3-year cycle. They love selling us books, which, by the way, I encourage you all to not buy the books. I've said this time and time again, just don't buy the books. There are other ways to get the books without buying them, which is great for us as consumers. I think they're great at consistently giving roadmaps now. Lord, do you think it's great? I think it's great they're consistently giving roadmaps. I agree. Wish they just told us what was coming, and the roadmap was constantly updated. When one's come out, announce another. I agree with it, Afimi, as well. I just wish they could move away from printed battle tomes to better rules distribution methods. Inquisitors, I agree. I actually wish that the books they produced were just the kind of like the tome. They were like, this is your book, and this is like the narrative, and here are some famous battles, and here's some great artwork. I would buy that book. I would absolutely buy that book. That would be a book I would buy. How to paint them with different painting guides in there. A variety of different stuff. Some background. Some like hilarious meme name generated things in there. Just fun stuff in a book for the army would be what I would want. And then I would want the rules to be online and digital, which would be great. We would all like that, but their crack team of accountants will not let them. I agree, which is sad. But anyway, little do they know they would sell about as many books, but would have happy customers. Like a Christmas Beano owl annual for your army. Yeah, but for your army. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that would be great. I actually like the books. I spend all day on screen for work. I don't want to be another one in my downtime. Reb Kelly, I'm with you. I actually would love the idea. Like, I'm very, very likely to pick up a physical Necromunda book, not because of any other reason than I want to read the story bit. And there are loads of digital versions of the rules online, but there's none of the story bit digitally available. I desperately, while I was away at the weekend, was trying to buy some Necromunda books digitally. They just don't exist. And that's so lame, but whatever. We know Dawnbringer's coming, so tell us when, what order they're coming in. I agree. Okay, all right. So, next up is the final bit. We're going to look at the Gitz. We're going to look at the Gitz Gnarlwood release. So these are the new miniatures that look super great coming for Underworlds. So here we go. Let's look at these, shall we? And here's the video. Okay, so we've had 1 0 out of 10. In fact, we've had a video that might have been detrimental to Games Workshop in their preview for the Beasts of Chaos. We had an okay substandard one. Let's have a look at this one. What is this 90s GFX in the middle? What is this? What am I seeing here? This is complete trash. Like, it's a Stargate. Yes, Moon Tyranid, hello! They should sell codes for the app separately and books for the people who want them. Yeah, listen, we all agree. Later, Hazel, we will. Yeah, definitely. Don't hate someone spent a whole 5 minutes on that. Sorry, Lex. You're correct, and I apologize. The minis, though, like, skip. Hot damn, Gitz minis are so fantastic. Like, look. I just want them to pitch them as good as they look. They're so shit at it. Maybe I'll just try and pitch it. Maybe I'll just make a narrative video for them. Like, what would it cost? I'm trying to think of what it would cost. It would cost a couple of £100 for some art. some voiceover work, I reckon maybe like 500 quid. Like, the art's the expensive bit, 100%. 100% the art's the expensive bit. Like, that's what it would cost. Rob, you can use more than £5 on a video. It has to be fair fight. Okay. All right. So, are you going to become a rogue PR guy like the plumber in the film Brazil? Yeah, maybe. Yes, to Brock Pates, hello. They said there was a heroic quest, but nothing else about what this quest is. Yeah, the trailer was shit, as always. So, absolutely 0%. Okay, minis, though. Like, the trailers are almost detracting from the quality of the minis at this point. Okay, let's talk about the minis. So this is a Warcry warband, usable. So Warcry is a game. No, this is not a Warcry warband. So sorry. This is an Underworlds warband that you can play in the tabletop game Underworlds. You can find several hundred people in your country who do own Underworlds warbands, none of whom play. Because the minis are great. This is, I think, Underworlds is the very best example of minis not being able to sell a game system. Some people say any mini will always sell a game system, and that is categorically not true because the minis in Underworlds are amazing, and no one plays it. And therefore, there you go. There are so many great angles to do narrative for Gitz too, like the idea of delusional warband isn't bad. Just go full psychedelic then, yeah. The game is great. Leo Crusher, I apologize. Yeah, Underworld's under the world. Agreed. I buy a lot of Underworlds for the sculpts. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies for the plot. It's a big energy there. Should run a poll for people who have tried Underworlds. We've all tried Underworlds. Trying Underworlds and being an active Underworld player, I think, are very different. Okay. Yes, exactly. Big energy there. Rob Kelly got it. Unimportant, I guess, but a factoid you might like, Rob, is I hear tell that this kit is very rare amongst modern kits, as it includes 2 minis on the sprue, which require no assembly. That is actually very rare. That's hot. I love that information. Okay, that's great. I'd play Underworlds if the game system didn't rotate through so quickly. That's fair. Do you think Games Workshop loads of people are playing Underworlds when they're just buying them to use an AOS? Angle, I would agree with you, yes. It's like the dating model, dude. It looks so good until you try it once. Rockstar in the chat. Wow, guy. Okay, all right. So listen, let's look at the minis. We've got the Boss Man. Looks fantastic. The star of the show, though, is obviously the Shield and Catapult Man. Like, that's obviously the star of the show. This mini is electric. It's what I think this mini is one of the reasons we play war games in of itself, right? Is we get it. Like, it's a shield. He's catapulting a squig. Yeah, like all of it is every element. Like, it's silly, which is, in sometimes what goblins should be. Like, the range between the last one, where there's the malevolent, creepy, magical nature of the boss, covered in mushrooms. Everything about this model is fucking unbelievably good. It's just unbelievably good. Like, that last model is unbelievably good. This model is unbelievably good. The squig being ridden by the big knight is quite fun with a big chunky hammer. Sea Gobbos are a funny faction. Fuck serious Gobbos. It's not even that they're the fun faction. Like, they just have more dynamicness to them. I've got a friend, and she always says that like an army should always have little guys. So imagine Lumineth, but you just had little like foxes or cats or stuff that were on the bases or a part of like, the kind of like the broader scope of what the miniature is. Gets the best ranges in game. This just makes it better. Strong agree. I agree. So I just think like Idna Deepkin, Hazel said in the chat, Idna Deepkin are a great example of that. Obviously they've got all the little fish, like the crabs and the fish and all those little elements that like they just add something, like maybe it just brings it more to life. Unnamed mysterious friend is right. I agree. I mean, I love Nurgle because it's gross and serious as fuck while being ridiculous. Yes, Vardek, that's actually really true. What you do with Nurgle, great example again, is you've got all of like the big, malevolent, dirty, horrible characters backed up by the Nurglings, who are sassy and hilarious and fun and capture our imaginations, right? The sprites in Sylvaneth, Skaven, Noblars, Rajo Casto, thanks for resubscribing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, they just add something to it. Lumineth have grass, that's like a friend. Yeah. I played a couple of people at the weekend, so I was at an event. And they didn't know what pink horrors were. Like, and I think maybe 2 of the 3 people I played weren't sure what pink horrors were. Like, a lot of players were new. And I was like, oh boy. Yeah, I was like, this pink guy explodes and turns into these 2 little guys. And they were like, amazing. I was like, one of these little guys dies. It turns into these little fire guys. And then I was like showing them the little fire guys. And they were like, ha, these are great. And I was like, they are. And then at the end, they were like, that's a unit that's tough to kill. And I was like, correct. Like... yeah, imagine not knowing what pink horrors are for the first time. Amazing. Watching the light die from their eyes as you see like Iron Guts fight twice and be like, are they not dead? And I'm like, they're not dead, mate. They're still alive. Like, learning horrors the fun way. Yeah. I'm trying to get more people into Underworlds locally. The Rovers format is helping a lot. Interesting, JJ Mantles. Thank you. He just gave 3 people PTSD. We've all got to learn the hard way, right? Rob's story of how he turned 3 narrative gamers to the dark side. Yeah, okay. Bring a Warshrine along, -1 to wound the horrors. I love that idea. Okay, anyway, look. Attacking Zinch just makes more Zinch. That's true. Okay, so next up, we've got the musician who's blowing a trumpet that's a mushroom. He's so fucking good. He's so amazingly good. Next. Okay, it's just some basic lads. Like, just some basic lads with a fucking little stabber and then another little stabber and some moon shields. Amazing. And then the boss man. So, and then some great art. And then probably some rules. No one cares about the game. Okay, so Warhammer Underworlds. Number 1, we should continue to pretend that it's a game we all care about. We potentially are horrors play to win. Clickbait. It's a good one, Greg. We should use that. We should all buy Underworld's miniatures. We should buy them consistently. We should buy them regularly. If you're like, oh, I really want to scratch that, I want to buy some new minis itch, I couldn't encourage you more to go buy Underworld's minis. We want Games Workshop to think Underworlds is a very successful game. Maybe, if you've got time, just create some fake Underworld tournament on like BCP and stuff and run them. We want Games Workshop to think it's an active and popular game so that we get more miniatures for Underworlds. We don't actually have to play Underworlds. Of course, we just want the cool new minis. So I would encourage people to buy this Gitz release and all of the Underworld releases generally because we 100% want Games Workshop to think it's something that we care about because it's not, but we do. Okay, they'll be on MetaWatch article by the end of the week. That's true. Or just play it since everyone has the warbands already. Probably don't do that. I've played it. It's lame. That's my opinion. If you do want to play it. And if you love it, continue to play it and have fun. Don't play a game that isn't fun, though. That's a tragedy. Play games that are fun. Usually get a bit of everything. It could be a great litmus test for a new faction. It's true. Surely they know how popular it is with a comprehensive meta watch. Surely. Like Necromunda in the 90s, everyone bought the gangs for their guard armies. Exactly. Same with Warcry, right? Everyone is buying all of the Slaves to Darkness warbands for Warcry from Warcry to use. So looking forward to that as well. Oh, talking of Warcry, because that's actually not all we've got to talk about. I'm sure there was some new Warcry stuff featured. No, there wasn't. There wasn't new Warcry stuff featured. There was the announcement that the Warcry box that they'd featured previously is going on sale soon, which is really fun. Love that. Okay, so those are all the kind of like the Age of Sigmar stuff announcements for the weekend that just came out. Ultimately, big positives for me. Roadmap. Huge positives. 2 very narrative, very wicked armies in Beast of Chaos and Gloomspite Gitz getting new books. Really exciting. Very exciting, especially the Gitz. You kind of actually have got the whole of Warhammer in a shot there. You've got the best performing army in the game right now, Beast of Chaos, and the worst performing army in the game, Gloomspite Gitz. That's going to be such a fascinating release, and then a 3-month cycle to see how those two armies change. Do the Beast of Chaos get better? Do they drop down a little bit? Do Gitz come up? It's actually pretty wild that they're getting released at the same time because they're top and bottom of the whole of Age of Sigmar, which is actually really, really interesting. So, yeah, love to see that. What else did I like? I like the new minis. We've obviously got that bet now with the chat. Hot Tub Stream, if that's not just those minis. Doom Diver, praying for a Doom Diver. Praying for it. Again, not to criticize Games Workshop marketing more than we already have, but of course they're terrible. How there isn't a Doom Diver when you can play a Doom Diver in Total War and have been able to since the very first Total War, which I think is like a decade fucking old now, is beyond me. Is beyond my ability to process that. So anyway, right. So that's that bit done. Loads of love. If you've been watching this on YouTube, do leave some comments, subscribe, and all those other things. I do have a Patreon as well if you'd like to support me. And join us on Twitch because the Twitch people are the best. Au revoir.